Welcome to Apache Sqoop tutorial. In this video, we are going to learn about uh, the purpose of Apache Sqoop tutorial. So this main purpose of Apache Sqoop tool is importing of and exporting of data to and from RDBMS systems to HDFS. So that's the main and primary usage of Apache Sqoop tool. So let me write here that one, Apache Sqoop. And primarily it is having a few commands or few tools that are part of this Sqoop tool, which each tool is meant for a different purpose. So here I am listing all the different tools of Apache Sqoop. First one is import. Next one is import hyphen all hyphen tables. Third one is export tool, which exports data from HDFS to RDBMS systems. Here first one is import tool, and here this tool is meant for importing an individual table from RDBMS to HDFS. So that is the main purpose of import tool. Here while coming to this import all tables, the name itself telling us that it is meant for importing all the tables that are part of a database in your database server. So that is the main purpose. Anyway, I will give detailed explanation once again when I am making use of that command. This is the just brief introduction. The next command is eval command. Eval means evaluate. So this command allows you to evaluate an SQL query, SQL language query using Sqoop tool. So that's the main purpose of this tool. And fifth command here or tool is options file. So this is the another tool of Sqoop. This tool allows us to write the Sqoop command, or you can write your Sqoop script in an external file and supply or provide that file or file name to the Sqoop tool, and Sqoop tool will automatically generate a Sqoop command dynamically when it is trying to running or expanding that external file. So these are the main and primary tools of Sqoop, and it is also having few miscellaneous tools. Such tools are list hyphen tables. So this command list hyphen tables lists all the tables available in a database. So another miscellaneous tool is list hyphen databases. So this list hyphen databases lists all the available databases on your database server. So these two are a couple of these two are miscellaneous tools, and let's explore in detail about each of the tools now. And let me represent these things in diagrammatically. So here I have used MS Paint. I have drawn a diagram here. If you observe, when we are trying to use any of the Sqoop tools, first what Sqoop will do is it will try to communicate with the RDBMS store you are using, and it will fetch metadata information from RDBMS tool, and from this metadata information only it will try to generate a Java class internally for us. Let me draw the diagram first and explain later on. So it will try to get metadata information from it will try to get metadata information from RDBMS, and RDBMS will return metadata information to the Sqoop tool. So based on these metadata information got from RDBMS, what it will do, I mean the Sqoop tool will do internally is metadata information. Just I am writing that. Tries to get metadata, and RDBMS will return some metadata. I mean Sqoop all automatically gets that one. And what it will do for us is it will internally creates a Java class, because Sqoop is written in Java, and Sqoop tool make use of JDBC API. So here that is JDBC API. So because Sqoop is written in Java and it makes use of JDBC API to get metadata information, and this is the API we use in general while communicating with any RDBMS systems from Java application. So it will try to create a class with this JDBC API, and it will get some meta information, and it will get this metadata information. What kind of this metadata information, what this metadata represents, what is the table name we are trying to fetch from RDBMS, and how many number of columns available in that table, and types of those columns, I mean the data types of those columns in RDBMS, and how can you match those data types into Java data types. So this kind of metadata information will be retrieved by this Sqoop tool, and it will try to create a class for us. So internally a Java class has been created for us. So that is the first thing done by the Sqoop tool. After that, what it will do is it will try to compile your Java class. Means it will a java.java file will be created, and by using your JDK it will try to compile the .java class, and it will generate a it will compile your .java file, and it will generate a .class file. So after creating that after compiling that .class file, it will create a .jar file. It means Java archive file. A .jar file will be created. A .jar file will be created. By default, if you observe how the names taken, or how the names given to these files, how the naming convention will be given to these auto-generated files is, by default it will take your, or it will assign the name of your table as name to all these files, the .java file, the .class file, and .jar file. I will show you I will show all these files created once when I switch to Linux environment. And after that, after creating this jar file, internally Sqoop will again try to get some information from your table. So that is, it will try to find out a split column. It will identify a split column on your database table. Here, what is this split column? So by default Sqoop will try to find for the primary key column. So based on this primary keys, Sqoop will internally run SQL commands to fetch the details, I mean the records from your table you are trying to import. So this is the thing done by Sqoop tool internally. For that, what the Sqoop tool will do for us is, Sqoop tool will internally applies min and max functions that are part of SQL language on the primary key column of your table. So for example, let us assume there is an employee table on my database and we are trying to import that employee table. So for example, let us assume there are 5 records available in this employee table, and employee number obviously starts from 1 to 5, and internally it will issue, I mean the Sqoop tool will issue this command, I mean this is SQL command, min of select min of emp underscore id. Let us assume this emp underscore id is the primary key column in our table. So here max of emp underscore command from the table is here is employee. So it will try to fetch this maximum number and minimum number of the primary key column, and after getting this information, I mean these two values, it will try to generate an individual SQL commands by each and every mapper. Anyway, I will explain once again this mapper, what does it mean in later on. So it will try to get this range, and internally Sqoop tool will generate or will try to generate a SQL language commands, means select star from, if we are trying to import all the columns, select star from employee where emp underscore id between that minimum value, let us assume min value and max value that has been fetched by using this SQL command. So it will try to generate this SQL language command. So this SQL language command is generated by each and every mapper that is trying to fetch data from RDBMS system. Sorry, RDBMS. Anyway, that's the thing. So this is the command generated. Anyway, I will show you all these commands. If you observe the login information that has been displayed when we are trying to run any of the Sqoop commands, we will find all these things. A Java file will be created and a .class file. Anyway, I will show you. This is the overall view of the things that are going on internally when we are trying to run our Sqoop commands. So after fetching metadata information and after getting some data, Sqoop tool will try to place that kind of data, the data what it has got from RDBMS into HDFS. So that's the next step. Here we are doing that. You can call this operation as an import operation. So this is called import operation, and let us see this example, that is importing of data. Now I am moving to Linux environment. So let me explain about this import. So as we know, it is meant for getting information from RDBMS table. So we know about that. So how can we write this import command? So the main command here is Sqoop command, and it is having the above list of sub commands. You can call them as sub commands or tools, whatever you can, options. And every command is having different options. Sqoop import hyphen hyphen. See here, if you observe this is, let me write this, connect. So this is the command that is a sub command of import tool. So you can, every sub command of respective tool will start with the 2 hyphens. If it is a general command, it starts with a single hyphen. Anyway, we will see about those generic commands. What are those commands? We will see later on. not at, it is not the correct time. So here if you observe hyphen hyphen connect, this this is called connection string which represents the location of the database you are trying to communicate. So here connection string always starts with JDBC and followed by, because that is the API we are using to communicate, and the next thing is the name of the database you are trying to communicate or you are trying to get or importing data. So here that is MySQL colon 2 slashes and where this database is running. So in my case it is running on my local machine. That is why here I am using a literal called localhost to represent MySQL is running on my local machine. And here if you observe 3306 is the default. One moment please. Yes, if you observe the default port number is 3306, that's the default port number used by MySQL. And if that is the number port number, specifying that is optional, and the database you are trying to use to import a table. So here you need to specify that the name of my database is Sqoop. I have created a database. Anyway, I will show you. So here if you observe, I am communicating with MySQL using that MySQL command -u. I'm trying to use root user here instead of Sqoop because there is no password for this root user. That's why I am ignoring that. And here -e means evaluate. Here the query to evaluate is show databases, which will lists all the available databases on MySQL server. See there is a database called Sqoop, the highlighted one here. So here I am making use of that Sqoop. So before using that, let me list all the tables available in this database called Sqoop. Show tables. See there are 3 tables and I am trying to import data from employee table. Let me go back. So that is the connection string and the Sqoop database here I am using. And you can also type the same SQL command in multiple lines, but this backslash is you need to use to separate your command into a different line. And the next option here is username. So the database username you need to specify, that is Sqoop instead of root, because there is no password for that. Here I have created a user of my own that is called Sqoop and I am making use of it here, backslash, and the password for the user I am trying to connect. Here I am making use of password command, that is Sqoop. I am specifying the password for my user I am trying to connect. The same username and password are same in my case. And the next one is, this is the common command. Till this point it is common for every command that is listed above. Those are listed above for except a few commands. Here I am table. Here the table I am trying to import here is employee. So this is the command we need to use to get employee details from RDBMS. I mean MySQL server to HDFS. So here I am copying this and trying to run it. Let me clear the screen. See here, Sqoop tool is trying to give some logging information. It is sending us. If you observe the first line of the statement, first line warn. So it is giving some kind of warning message saying setting your password on the command line is insecure, and it is giving us an advice or suggestion, use -P instead. So that is the drawback of hyphen password. So in our next command we will make use of -P instead of hyphen password. And we will see what happens if we use that -p capital. Yes, we have got these 5 records here, retrieved 5 records. See here what is going on. Found Hadoop core. One moment please. Yes, if you observe, it is writing the jar file where the cursor is moving to this location, tmp sqoop cloudera employee.jar file, employee.jar. So this one, employee.jar file has been created and it has been placed in this location. And if you observe this command here, select min followed by emp underscore id and emp max of emp underscore id. What it is doing is it is trying to get what is the minimum primary key and maximum primary key value, and every time internally Sqoop tool will try to run a SQL command. We'll try to run a SQL command for getting each and every record in between this primary key value range. So that is why it is first getting this metadata information. I mean, based on the split column, it will try to find out the range of your split column, and then it will internally generate SQL command. So here if you observe, select from employee as limit 1. So every time a single record is will be fetched. So internally after that, a map job, obviously we know about this. Map job has been executed and it has been completed successfully. And finally we have got that feedback saying retrieved on many records. So replied the number of received the number of records. So for the, let us move to this temp location to see what is there in this employee.jar file. For that I am moving here, Cloudera, sorry, computer, file system. What is that? Temp Sqoop-Cloudera. This is the folder, and then compile. (504F). For this we need to identify 504F. Yes. See here, first employee.java, a .java file was created for us, and it has been compiled using the JDK. And if you open this file, see here a big Java file has been created internally. So these many number of lines of code has been written. Anyway, it is not required. So that class has been compiled, the Java file, and it has been placed inside your jar file. So this is the thing done by the Sqoop tool internally. Obviously we know about this min and max. Yes, job has been raised and it has been executed, or it has been completed successfully. Let me clear the screen and let's go to the HDFS and view the contents. So that is why I'm making use of that command, listing the contents of HDFS. So here if you observe, there is a directory called employee. So here the directory on employee has been created on HDFS root directory, and the name of this directory is similar to the or same as your table name. So here if you observe underscore success underscore logs, after that if you observe 5-m files, I mean map tasks, are executed. M here means a map task has been executed. It has been placed in a separate part, in a separate partition. Anyway, let's view the original data. So that is the first record. Second record, fourth record you will see. This is how you can view the contents of your table records on HDFS. This much process has been done by our Sqoop tool internally when we run a single Sqoop command. So when we run this Sqoop command, so this much process was there internally. So we will continue. Thank you. I will continue the rest of the options available with this import tool in coming tutorials. Thank you. Thank you for watching.